time we'll ask this. Let's go. Are you guys ready for the next comedian tonight? I'm going to ask you twice so you do it right the first time. Are you guys ready for the next comedian tonight? Coming up to the stage right now is a man who is a professor at Radford University. He teaches young minds and he twists your mind. So I want everybody to give a big round of applause for Scott McDermott.
All right, thank you, everybody. We finished up the spring semester at Radford about 4 weeks ago. So that means that I have now been drunk for about 6 months. I may have a drinking problem, I'm not sure. No, you guys like to pick on Radford. You always like to tell that story about how 1 in 3 girls at Radford has a sexually transmitted disease. But you always leave out another part of that equation. You always leave out the fact that 1 in 3 girls at Radford is also dating a guy at Tech. So through the transitive property, that one's kind of on you. Now I realize that joke involves math, so if the Tech students could explain it to the Radford students. And Radford students, if you'll explain it to the people from Pulaski. Folks from Pulaski, if you could get the people from Giles, and if the folks from Giles could take care of anyone who might be visiting from UVA. We'll have covered our bases and I will have pandered sufficiently to the audience. No, I'll tell you guys the same thing I tell my students. I don't have a PhD, so you don't have to call me doctor. I do have a master's degree, so you can call me master if you like. Yeah, my black students don't like that joke either. For some reason. Anthony likes that joke, so it's okay to laugh. Do you ever wonder who the first white guy to try to get away with saying something racist by claiming to have black friends was? Do you think Abraham Lincoln was like, no, it's cool, I can talk about Negroes, I freed them? Frederick Douglass says the Emancipation Proclamation gets me a ghetto pass. Do you think Thomas Jefferson was like, no, I can own slaves. One of them is my baby's mama. Sally says she's fine with it. That is, of course, a reference to Sally Hemings. Who knows who Sally Hemings was? Very good. So, if you don't know, Sally Hemings was Thomas Jefferson's slave, who is also widely believed to have been his mistress. That has to make for some awkward relationship moments, if you think about it, because he was like dating his property. Do you ever think they got in an argument where he'd like asked her to do something and she was like, you don't own me? And he was like, well, actually. Got paperwork that says that I do. Wouldn't it be weird if you could like buy your significant other at like the boyfriend or girlfriend store? You know? Of course, like, guys would always be returning their girlfriends, claiming they were defective, you know. When I purchased this model about 3 months ago, I was told that I would have unlimited access to up to 3 points of entry. As it turns out, I'm only allowed to use one of those, and whenever I need to use it, it's shut down for the evening. And you should have seen what happened when I tried to use that rear entry point. That was not pretty. That feature's only available on the Radford models. Of course, women would never return their defective boyfriends. They would just try to fix them themselves. And in the process, ruin them for everyone else. By the time they're done with the poor guy, they wouldn't even be able to sell him like at a yard sale. The poor bastard would be on the lawn at the end of the day with just the sign around his neck like free to good home, People would come up like, what's this? Oh, that's my ex-boyfriend. I only used him for about 6 months. Well, what the hell did you do to him? I mean, his spirit's been crushed. He's got almost no self-esteem left, and Hey, his balls have been busted. Oh, look at him. Now he's crying. And trying to hug me. Get him away. No, I think the fact that we once thought it was okay to own another person shows you how fucked up racism is. And I think one of the biggest problems with racism is that the people who are most racist don't realize that they're racist. And I know this because whenever I hear someone say, I'm not racist or anything, but it is inevitably followed by the most racist shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Nothing good ever follows that statement. No one has ever said, I'm not racist or anything, but I believe all the children of the world should join hands and sing. If someone said that, I'd be like, that guy's clearly not racist. I don't see what he's worried about. Seems like a decent fellow. But it's always something horrible. I guarantee you that in like 1930s Germany, Adolf Hitler turned to his friends one day and was like, hey guys, I'm not racist or anything, but I've got this idea. Just hear me out. Now, I sometimes worry that I might be a little bit racist myself, and I place the blame squarely on Star Wars. Because, you see, I grew up with the original trilogy, and the only black guy that we had in the original trilogy was Lando Calrissian. And there's only one thing that people ever remember about Lando. Now, if there were any justice in this world, he would be remembered as a great hero. After all, in Return of the Jedi, he was the one that flew the Millennium Falcon into the second Death Star and blew up the power core with the help of assist from Wedge Antilles. Which just goes to show you I really need a girlfriend. But because he's black, what's the only thing anyone ever remembers? Snitch. He's a snitch. He betrayed Han Solo, right? Sold him out to the Empire. Now, I'm not racist or anything, but if I'm being completely honest, because of those movies, I can never completely trust my black friends. I'm always worried they're going to hand me over to Darth Vader. I'm worried I'm going to go out to dinner with Anthony one night. I'm going to be surrounded by stormtroopers. He's just going to look at me like, I had no choice. They arrived right before you did. Next thing you know, I'm frozen in carbonite, hanging on a wall in Jabba's palace. Then who's going to save me? Because I don't have a Princess Leia in my life. So I'm single. That's right, the mildly racist Star Wars fan doesn't have a girlfriend. Shocking. I'm kidding. Star Wars didn't make me racist. If anything, I'm pretty sure the opposite is true. I'm pretty sure at least half the reason that I keep voting for Obama is that Barack Obama sounds like the name of a Star Wars character. Some people aren't sure he was born in this country. I'm not sure he was born in this galaxy, being honest. I'm pretty sure Barack Obama was a bounty hunter in The Empire Strikes Back. I think I had the action figure. That's what I'm getting at. So where are my Star Wars fans? Who likes Star Wars? Alright, awesome. How about the prequels? You like the prequels? Yeah, honestly, they're not as good, but I do feel that Star Wars movies are kind of like blowjobs.
How many?
You know, even the bad ones are still kind of awesome. The exception being, you know, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, that's like the bad hand job of Star Wars movies. It's an awful movie. And there's one thing in particular that I always hated about that movie, and that's the fact that they reveal that Anakin Skywalker, the little kid who grows up to become Darth Vader, his mother reveals that he doesn't have a father, that he's the product of some sort of immaculate conception, which is just stupid. But the absent father would explain why he grows up to become an angry black man. Not that I'm racist or anything, which is what racists say after they said something. Personally, I think she's lying. I think she knows who the father is. She had herself a little one-night stand. She just doesn't want to admit to it. Because if you think about it, there's only one character in the Star Wars universe powerful enough to have fathered Darth Vader. And that's Yoda. That's right. Here's how I think it went down. She and her girlfriends went out clubbing one night. They hit up the Mos Eisley Cantina. She has one too many of those blue milk-looking drinks. Next thing you know, she's waking up in a swamp, lying next to something that looks like what would happen if Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog ever consummate their relationship. I mean, would you admit to that? The walk of shame back from Dagobah is a long one. Yoda's probably got moves, too. He's probably great at sex. I mean, judge him not by his size. Strong as the Force is he, you know? He could give you an orgasm from across the room. Just Jedi lingus is what that is. The Jedi mound trick. I've really got to stop confusing Star Wars and sex, because for a while there, I'll admit, I did get into, the cosplay, where you dress up in costume in the bedroom. The problem was, I'm not confident enough to see myself as like the Han Solo, so we would just dress up like the droids, and the girl would be R2-D2, and the sex was great, but now I can't walk past a fire hydrant without getting mildly aroused. It's a step up. At first, I would just have a little person put on a fur coat and pretend they were an Ewok. So, it's getting better. Well, anyway, I'd like to talk to just the guys for a second, which should be easy because most of the women stopped paying attention about 5 minutes ago when I started talking about Star Wars. However, if you are one of the few ladies who is into Star Wars, I still have the R2-D2 outfit. It's in my trunk. Hit me up after the show. But guys, do you ever wake up with like a really wicked case of morning wood, but you also have to pee really badly? And so in this moment, you have some decisions that have to be made. And what I usually do is I go to the bathroom, and rather than even bother with the toilet, I just arc it into the bathtub. Some of the guys here know exactly what I'm talking about. The rest of them are just like, this guy's a fucking genius. I've just been pissing on the wall behind the toilet. That's a great idea. Now, men are nasty though, am I right, ladies?
Yes.
Men are nasty. Women are clearly the more advanced of the species. And one needs look no further for proof of this than a woman's bathroom. You look at a woman's shower, and you guys, you've got like shampoos, conditioners, finishing rinses, stuff for dry hair, color-treated hair, dry skin, sensitive skin, soft skin. You have so many products, you have to like build additional shelves just to house them all. Guys, on the other hand, we've decided that the bar of soap and the bottle of shampoo is just a little too complicated of a system for us. So we came up with the shampoo and body wash in one. Presumably so we can just be like, done. But it's getting worse. We now have the shampoo, body wash, and shave soap all in one. But we're not going to stop there. Eventually it's going to be shampoo, body wash, shave soap, toothpaste, mouthwash, laundry detergent, dish detergent, air freshener, deodorant, carpet cleaner, car wax, floor wax, motor oil, personal lubricant. Just all in one container. Because that's what guys want. We just want that one thing that you only have to buy like every 6 months. It'll come in a 1-gallon jug, costs $19.99, and you can buy it at Best Buy or the auto parts store. Just call it stuff for men.